Welcome back, Truth Seeker. It is Thursday, July 8th, 2021, and it's reported that yesterday, Wednesday, July 7th, the president of Haiti was assassinated at his home. And again, Haiti, one of these nations that in international news, people typically hear about it when there's the latest political chaos. And a land known for political killings, Haiti. So they're saying there's a manhunt for the killers. They're saying they've killed 4 people and arrested 2. And if you have any eye for patterns, you probably noticed something about the 4 and 2. And we're going to get into what that is. What's with this number 42 in Black history? And if there is something sinister going on, who's behind it? Like, who's really behind this assassination? And again, it's very clear to see when you know the knowledge of the New World Order, Jesuit order killers, the language of Gematria. It's very easy to see through their rituals. So we're just going to go over today's news, go over a few things we've talked about in recent times, and then just read a little bit of my most recent book, because it's so interesting how on page 24 I talk about the exact same pattern that we have in today's news. And also throughout that book, beyond just page 24, I point out the same pattern over and over. It's just even early in the book's about 400 pages, the same pattern we're about to talk about, it's identified in the early pages of the book, and it being evidence of how the Jesuit order, which is the New World Order, operates. So, notice the man who has been assassinated, Jovenel Moise. His name in Gematria is 144 and 54, just like Jesuit order. If you're new here, it equals 144 when you use the alphabetic order. A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, up to Z, the 26 letters, 26. It equals 54 when you use the alphabetic order with the rules of numerology. Numerology just means you make all the letters that have more than a single-digit number, you compress them to a single digit. So Z, the 26th letter, would be 2 plus 6 is 8. 26, Z, the 26th letter, 26 is 2 plus 6 is 8. Its numerology is 8. The numerology of 26 is 8. The numerology of 25, which is Y the 25th letter is 2 plus 5 is 7. Y is 7. X, the 24th letter, is 2 plus 4 is 6. X is 6, thus XXX is 666. But anyway, Jovenel Moise, 14454, just like Jesuit order. There's so many Jesuit rituals with these numbers in the world of politics worldwide. Case in point, Jesuit Georgetown simulated on June 12th, 2020, that Joe Biden, Jesuit Joe from Scranton, Pennsylvania, the Jesuit town that it is, one of the nation's big Jesuit prep schools there. But they simulated at Jesuit Georgetown 144 days before the election that Biden would win, Trump would refuse to step down, say that he was cheated, and it would lead to physical, deadly violence in America, which is your capital insurrection. And there's a whole lot more to all of that, but President Biden 144, not an accident. Trump's Jesuit educated. They're all Jesuit puppets. So people don't get. They're like, I want Trump back. Why? He's just a Jesuit puppet. You care about your sock puppet? A lot of you do. It's too bad. You're not awake. Anyway, the other two, where Jovenel Moise and Jesuit order are the exact same, those are our two most important classic ciphers, the original 2 that I learned from Manly P. Hall's The Secret Teachings of All Ages. What we learned 3 years into the research was to run the alphabetic order in reverse with the rules of numerology. If you write his name with the, language-appropriate accent, his name also has a numerical value of 54 because those accents make it a null value. When you run the alphabetic order in reverse numerology, his more authentic name, if you will, is also 54, you see? And we're going to talk more about where 54 goes beyond the Jesuits, because it's just so easy to see what has happened here. It reminds me of the death of Kofi Annan, which I might get into as well. But look at this. With regards to the Jesuits, he is dead on July 7th. The assassination was Wednesday, July 7th. That is the day leaving 177 days left in the year. The Jesuit order 177, New World Order 177. The difference is putting the on the front of the title, which is absolutely fair when you pay attention to the fact that they use these numbers interchangeably, very ritualistically, again and again. The Jesuit order is a more proper title. When you run the alphabetic order in reverse, New World Order is 177, and You think about the Jesuits saved by Catherine the Great, whose husband was assassinated on July 17th, 17/7, also in the month of July. The month in tribute to Rome and their leader. And of course, we're on the Roman Catholic calendar, and English is also credited to them as well. All of this stuff is synced up. This is why these types of rituals go on year after year with the exact same patterns. But with regards to 177 and 54, just where we're beginning, I just want to go to my latest book, and I just want to go to page 24, and I just want you to understand, I'm making the case that people need to wake up to this code, the patterns these people work by, how they control the world's populace, how they're sinister, how they use murder to force their agendas, and it is clear as day, it is these people. And again, this same pattern is all throughout the book, but I just wanted to see where I first mentioned 177 in my latest book. And then I noticed right after I wrote about 177, I wrote about 54 and outfits. And again, it's just the same stuff over and over. So let me see. I think I need to make that bigger somehow. That's more like it. Okay. So bottom of page 24. Again, it's this book right here. Number Games, 9/11 to Coronavirus. Finished writing that about a year ago. But just reminding, also relevant to the discussion is the fact that from the Jesuits being recognized by Rome in 1540 to the establishment of modern Freemasonry as 1717 is 177 years later. And where the Jesuit order equates to 177 with simple English, New World Order equates to 177 with reverse simple. And again, you got to know the ciphers both ways, which I'll make a point about in just a second. But you notice just right down the page, you're just reading, and then boom, just right here, sentences later. Even with the newer name, Washington, it still has a heavy Jesuit presence due to Georgetown University, the first Jesuit university established in the United States by John Carroll when he was 54 years of age, on January 23rd, 1789. It matters that he was 54, born January 8th, 1735, because John Carroll and Jesuit order both equate to 54 in Pythagorean gematria. Furthermore, the number 54 is symbolic in terms of time. This is because we're on the Gregorian calendar, a solar calendar, and the word sun sums to 54 in simple English gematria. If you're not aware of the Jesuit logo, it is the sun. So, just... And all throughout the book, just the same types of points and patterns made all throughout history. But here we are, and we're talking about the assassination of Mr. 54 on the day leaving 177 days left in the year, when this number is already connected to assassinations in history, including Catherine the Great's husband, Catherine the Great, who supposedly saved the Jesuit order by saving the 201 Jesuits. And remember, Captain Tom of the UK, who died this year, he was knighted last year on July 17th, 17/7, like 177, and he died on February 2nd, 201 days later. The Jesuit orders 177 forwards, 201 in reverse. Catherine the Great's husband dies on 17/7, and then she defies the Pope and protects the order with the power of Russia, preserving the order with 201 Jesuits. All throughout history, these numbers coming together. We've covered it so many times in so many different ways. But again, Catherine the Great, the funny thing about that show, well, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that are funny about it. But the actress they got to play her name equals 54 with the most pure cipher, the alphabetic order and rules of numerology, and when you run the alphabetic order in reverse with the rules of numerology. The actress they got for Catherine the Great, her name equals 54 both ways. 54 forwards and backwards. John Carroll, 54 in the most pure cipher, establishes the first Jesuit university. Georgetown at age 54. You know what I mean? Sun 54 in the most simple cipher, right? It just makes too much sense, right? Why they use these numbers, these rituals, these patterns. 54 in numerology is 9. Pythagoras said 9 represented God. God, the Son of God, the Word Son, Son in the sky, male offspring. Anyhow, Mr. Jesuit Order is dead on a very Jesuit date. And is he really dead? That's the other question, Is he even dead? Or is this just the way they run the show in Haiti? Constant chaos. And again, this is a major psychological operation on the people, Man, God forbid I run for office, man. I don't want to die. I mean, nobody even wants to be in power. It's way too dangerous. Who fills in the void? The same people keeping everybody suppressed with their tactics. And that's what these people are, the master of tactics, a military order, a well-established order that's worldwide, that operates large and in charge in each nation because of the Catholic Church who they serve. These ciphers, Port-au-Prince, what a name, right? It's got the 69 in it. Notice, when you write out New World Order, 69 as well. When you write out the Jesuit Order, 69 in it as well. Again, the cipher. These are the 4 base ciphers. All of these methods are so important. He's dead in the time of Cancer. Cancer's astrological symbol looks like 69. Cancer has gematria 44, like chemo, like kill, like execution, like shooting. Did he even die from a shooting? I was reading several stories. I was like, he was assassinated in his home. I'm like, okay, how come every story I'm reading, I'm sure there's one out there that says how he was died, but I scanned through 4 or 5 of them today from the mainstream, and none of them pointed out how he was assassinated. He was assassinated in his home. Okay, was he poisoned? Was he shot? Was he stabbed? Was he suffocated? Was he hit with a bat? I mean, what happened? I'm sure eventually they'll tell, but maybe the story is still in development. Just got to get it rushed out by the numbers. And isn't it amazing how the word assassination equals the same as Society of Jesus? Isn't it just strange how it's just all so perfect? Again, this is who's responsible for the language and the calendar and who's running the world with these tactics through all the centuries that they've been large and in charge as they've built their world dominance. Jesuits, known killers, known assassins. It's not like it's some bizarre accusation to accuse the Jesuits of assassination. It's a historical fact. Lincoln wrote his letter June 8th. 1864. June 8th, 1864, about how there never would have been a civil war without the sinister Jesuits. And remember, Confederates got the same gematria as the Jesuit order. And they did a big ritual with that because the Confederate flag flew in D.C. at the Capitol insurrection 201 days after the Albert Pike statue came down, the only statue of a Confederate war general in D.C. Just happened to come down 201 days before the Capitol insurrection when the Jesuit order is 201. That's the biggest number with the Jesuits that we talk about. Well, 84 is there too. All these numbers are important, but man, the 201. Yeah, the MLK assassination, a major Jesuit ritual. And what day was the assassin arrested? June 13th, the day leaving 201 days left in the year. Port-au-Prince, Haiti, where he's dead, equals 95. Remember, the Jesuits were recognized by Rome on September 27th, 1540, the day leaving 95 days left in the year to counter the 95 Theses. Martin Luther was the leader of the Protestant Reformation. Martin Luther King Jr., the civil rights leader, assumed the name Martin Luther. He was born Michael. He assumed Martin Luther in tribute to the Protestant Reformation leader who opposed the Catholic Church. MLK was assassinated April 4th, 68, a leap year, the 95th day of the year. Martin Luther wrote the 95 Theses. The Jesuits recognized on Rome September 27th, the day leaving 95 days left in the year. Now Port-au-Prince, Haiti, 95, where this very clearly Jesuit ritual happened. And this whole four suspects are killed and 2 arrested. Remember, that's just the number put all over black history. That's how a lot of the international world will see it. Man, that crazy black nation, they're just killing everybody there. Isn't that what they do and the poor black communities do? Just always kill each other? Again, this is the media programming and stereotype that so many people have, and a story like Haiti just reinforces that. And notice, all in the same cipher. Jackie, 42, as in Jackie Robinson, who wore 42. Moses Walker, 42, the real first black baseball player in white major league who played in 42 games. Huxtable, 42. Cosby Show, 42. For those of you who don't know, the Cosby Show, hit show. Really like America's first hit show about a black family. And it might even have been the first show. Don't quote me on that, but definitely first hit show and a major hit. Cosby, something that everybody watched. But the family name in that is Huxtable. Huxtable, Cosby Show 42, Martin 42, Malcolm X 42, Tuskegee 42, Slavery 42, Muhammad Ali 42. I mean, there's a lot more to this list. LeBron James 42, born on 12/30, 12 plus 30, 42, the same day Tiger Woods and Tyrese are all born. All major black stars. The only day of the year where you can add the day in the month that's 42, December 30th. Tiger, LeBron, Tyrese. If you spell his name with the accent on it, it's also 56, like Society of Jesus. But, yeah, with regards to the Jesuits in 95, again, just to make a point about that, Captain Tom, who died this year on February 2nd, remember what we talked about when he died. Not only did he die 201 days after being knighted on 17/7 in, England, a major Jesuit stronghold before they had U.S., but you see how the BBC emphasized unique, and that equals 33 like knight? He was knighted in this ritual. He died on the 33rd day of the year, February 2nd. England is also 33. Did I forget to put that in here? But what Captain Tom was remembered for was the Burma campaign, the military intervention in Burma. Remember what happened one day before he died, February 1st. The military overthrew the Burmese government, which became the big news story for about a month there, and then it went away. It's still going on, but now it's become a non-story. The military just runs the country, and the news isn't really covering it anymore. But it was February 1st that happened, and I predicted at the beginning of the year there'd be a big military war story this year with 21, War 21, Jesuit 21, Army 21. On 2/1, the Burmese military overthrows the Burmese government, and you look into that Burmese government, it was established on September 27th in history, the day the Jesuits were recognized by Rome, the day leaving 95 days left in the year. And we said there'd be a big military 21 ritual because of the Jesuit influence in so many nations of the world, and the Jesuits consider themselves a military order. That's why they're doing rituals with Captain Tom, who's gone by the numbers after being knighted, a day after they have their coup in Burma. Because again, the same people that control this nation here in the U.S. and probably the nation you're in listening to right now, they also control Burma. This is the New World Order. The Jesuits claim to have military influence in 112 countries. That's a lot of countries. And that's been a claim for a long time. I suspect it's just a claim by the numbers. They probably have more influence than that. Catholicism's 112. And you see how Catholicism is 112, 185, 68? Look at mathematics. 112, 185, 68. Mathematics is 40 in the most pure cipher. The numerology of that is 4. What's the fourth book of the Bible? Numbers. 4 represents foundation in numerology. The foundation is numbers in all things. In all things, the foundation truly is numbers. Almost all things can break down to a mathematical calculation. But with regards to 68, big year for assassinations, MLK by the numbers, and the big Jesuit ritual. The Jesuits served the Catholic Church. 1968, that monster year, even the year coronavirus was coined. Look it up. Coronavirus coined as the seasonal flu in 1968. And what was the simulation of the coronavirus pandemic? October 18th, 2019. What was it called? 1 month before the outbreak in Wuhan, China? It was called Event 201. The Jesuit Order 201. And, remember also at the beginning of this year, the Jesuits are going to pay reparations for the slaves of the old Georgetown head. This is all a mockery, you guys. It was years ago, I covered, there was some conversation about that years ago at Georgetown on a 42 date as well. Again, all they're doing is just stirring the pot. That's what they're doing. Now's the time to pay reparations when we're really getting people all worked up. Let's make reparations more of a real thing that's really going to... Because a lot of people are like, how is this going to help anything? This is going to create more slavery for society, more financial debt slavery. I mean, I think we're already past the point of no return, but again, there's a reason people get worked up. And here, if you're doubting it's the Jesuits, well, this should seal the deal for you. Arturo Sosa, from his birthday to the assassination July 7th, was the 34th week of his age, 34. Look at the president's name in Haiti. Haiti, 34, Jovenel, 34, right? His name has overlap in both the reduction ciphers. But murder's 34. Big murder number. So, again, English is the language of the Catholic Church and clearly standardized the way it is by the Jesuit order. Again, in the 16th century. Here's another thing that's interesting when you think about it. Again, don't accuse me of being a flat earther. I appreciate that the flat earthers question things, but I don't think their arguments are the best. But to me, to question what's really going on, and it's beyond just the shape of the earth. It's just like, what is really going on? But in the 16th century, heliocentrism became the scientific, it was the beginning of the push of that being the scientifically accepted model, which is what everyone now agrees to today in mainstream science. It's what we're taught about in school. And I'm not here to tell you that it's wrong, because I don't know for sure. I mean, I do question a lot of the numbers that they give us for distances, especially in light of the rituals that they do, and the fact that nobody seems to be able to duplicate the mathematics. I mean, I used to always ask my teachers growing up, like, how they can prove the distance of the sun. I never had a teacher that could do it. But hold on, I wasn't going to take any calls, but young Ben's calling in. Young Ben can get in the line anytime he wants.
Hey, just so you know, you're showing your book on the screen, not your blog.
Oh, shit.
Or not Google.
I thought I switched it back. Damn.
Yeah, just so you know. Just a heads up.
Well, I appreciate that, Ben. I appreciate it.
All right, no problem.
All right, thanks.
All right, bye.
So, all right. Ben knew what was up. Oh, I got to fix it now. It's all messed up. Hold on. Bear with me. Technical difficulties. I wonder why I did that, though. Okay. So, sorry. Hopefully you were following me without the visuals that were supposed to be up. But anyway, just getting to this whole 201 thing. Here, let's just go over the screens that you might have missed. Okay. So, again, 4 assassins dead, 2 arrested. Suspected assassins. They're just killing people even if they're suspects, right? That's what's going on in Haiti. But they just got to put the 4-2 up there. And again, all of these words, 42. All the ones we just listed, here's the visual. And again, from Arturo Sosa's November 12th birthday to the July 7th assassination, his 34th week of his age, murder 34, Haiti 34, Jovenel 34. Just... And again, you just look at how this stuff is so perfect. It shows you that the chessboard's set. The thing is, does a guy like Jovenel Moise, the one question I have is, does he know he's being set up for an assassination? Or does he know he's being set up for an assassination and he's down with the script and then his character's assassinated and he goes and lives in some other part of the world or he gets a little reconstructive face surgery? I mean, is this what's going on? And is just the way they maintain appearances and the way... It's like they have the world the way they want it right now. Is this how they keep it in the glass jar it's in? By just with the same stories, the same programming, just doing the same stuff over and over? They got the world right where it is. Now, this is the magic you got to do each day. You just keep the ritual just like this, and you just stay large and in charge. I mean, there's a reason that they do things this way. And again, just showing the numbers. The same old numbers that just point in one direction. I mean, how can people be denying everything that we presented for 8 years now about 42 in what they do with race? Over and over. I mean, the Bill Cosby thing on the 181st day of the year, the 42nd prime when Black History's 181, February's 42, Black History Month. You know what I mean? Just the same stuff over and over. So Arturo Sosa's the superior general, the leader of the Jesuits. This assassination is synced with him. The Jesuits, known assassins in history. This has been written about all over. And again, even Lincoln. Look up the name John Surratt. Surrat, John Surratt, the Jesuit plot to assassinate Lincoln. His mother was hung. John Surratt escaped and was never caught, or I forget what the story is. I feel like there's 2 different stories out there about John Surratt. Maybe one is that he ended up dead. But anyway, he was a Jesuit, and he's the least talked about person in the history books, but a lot of people think he was the chief planner of the Lincoln assassination. And again, did that even happen? Was Lincoln even really assassinated? He was 56 in a theater. Again, it seems like that's what this shit is. Scripted, stage-managed theater, stories that are meant to have a psychological impact, an impact that will allow them to move people, create policy, and do what they do for greater control and power and influence. And again, it does seem like they got the world right where they want it, and a lot of this stuff is just the same stuff in cycles. Is it just the ongoing programming to just keep us like locked where we are? I mean, here's how a lot of people will take in this information. Man, those black people are always killing each other. That's about as deep as it'll get. Hold on. I wasn't trying to take calls. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to take calls right now. I took the call from young Ben. By the way, Brady's April Fool's joke 4-1 about the Montreal Expos. Tampa beats Montreal 4-1. You think that was a coincidence? Tampa Bay Lightning 179, the 41st prime. The Stanley Cup started on 4-1. Again, we're always talking about weather warfare and sports and hurricane in 52. Tampa Bay picks up their 52nd win of the season, winning the Stanley Cup the day the hurricane passes over. It's just, again, you guys, these Jesuits, man, what they do is very observable, but still just, it is mind-boggling how it is all pulled off and achieved. And okay, so Catherine the Great, again, Ellie Fanning, who plays her, she's the woman who in history, her husband was assassinated on 17/7/177. She saved the 201 Jesuits. They make a show about this during the time of coronavirus after Event 201. And the actress they get is, 54. So. Oh, by the way, just one other thing. This is the other big thing. Okay. His name, if you write his name with the accent, hold on, let me go back up to this part on the screen so you have the visual. I think I just wrote it down. Okay, so if you write his name with the accent, and here I'll just do it in the calculator, it'll be even bigger. If you write his name with the accent, it's got this 135 and 54 in it, right? And without the accent, just the way that like CNN wrote it, it's 54 in the most pure cipher. And I've always said this, with the names with the abbreviations, I feel like they're coded out both ways. Remember, the guy who coined the term corona in relation to an eclipse, his name with the Spanish emphasis on it is 201, right? The guy who coined the phrase corona in regards to an eclipse and the coronavirus, the year of Pope Francis having the total solar eclipse happen in his native country, Argentina. But the guy's name 135 and 54, right? And when you write out Bavaria, it's 135 and 54. And remember, the Bavarian Illuminati was established by the Jesuit Adam Weishaupt. And the thing about that is, Bavarian Illuminati is 188. He died, this man, the assassination, yesterday was the 188th day of the year, leaving 177 days remaining. 188th day of the year, leaving 177 days remaining. The Bavarian Illuminati, established by the Jesuit Adam Weishaupt. So you see how that all comes together? The 54 connects back to Bavaria. And with regards to the 188 and 80, remember when Kofi Annan died at age 80 on August 18th, 18/8, the head of the United Nations, which is another Jesuit operation. Again, all things that we've covered over the years. But remember, 188 is a big number. If you get out of your U.S. dollar bill denominations with the Illuminati symbolism all over it, you got the 1, the 2, the 5, the 10, the 20, the 50, the 100. Don't forget about that $2 bill. Those are the U.S. dollar bill denominations. You add it up, it's 188. And with regards to Weishaupt, he established the Bavarian Illuminati May 1st, 1776, just before the American Revolution. And from the anniversary of the establishment to the day he died in history, November 18th, 1830, is 201 days later. If you look into the history, after naming it Bavarian Illuminati, he quickly renamed it Order of Illuminati, which is 201, like the Jesuit order. And again, dead 201 days after the anniversary of the establishment. So just how perfect all these patterns are, how in today's, latest, or technically yesterday's latest assassination, just more evidence of who is responsible and, how it's being done. Oh, yeah. And by the way, Adam Weishaupt died 54 years after the establishment of the Bavarian Illuminati. Established in 1776, he died in 1830. So just that 54 again, right? Cycles of the sun, S-U-N, S the 19th letter, U the 21st, N the 14th. 19 plus 21 plus 14, 54. And remember, they just put out that, if you have the Amazon streaming service, it's probably a couple years ago now, maybe. They put out the documentary about Adam Weishaupt. Well, I don't know if it's exactly a documentary. It's like a historical film piece, but it's about the Bavarian Illuminati and Adam Weishaupt and his Jesuit upbringing. And in that film, they say that he felt like the Jesuits had too much influence, so he wanted to, create a secret society to overcome the Jesuits. I'm not sure about all that. Maybe that was part of it. But at the end, all these historians who are participating, they all get the question if the Illuminati still exists, and they all laugh cynically like, oh, God, there's no Illuminati today, and that's just conspiracy crap. And it's like, okay, yeah, can I get on this documentary? Because I think I could make everybody laugh cynically at these people. We got a lot of evidence to show that, maybe they don't exactly call themselves Order of Illuminati anymore, but the same network is still running the show and doing all the same stuff that they have been for all this time. So the questions we just need to get answered are, what's really going on? Are people really dying? Are some dying? Are none of them dying? Is it all just a show? Is it all just a show through the headlines, through the media, through the mind control? To just keep us with these certain thoughts, these certain stereotypes, these certain prejudices, these certain fears that essentially just keep us all in place right where we are, following the instructions because we don't want to stand out. We don't want something bad to happen to us. We don't want to be made fun of by friends and family. All right, somebody's calling over and over and over, so they must have the most important thing in the world to say. What's up, 310?
Hey, what's up? It's Alan. I wanted to add something to what you're talking about.
Okay.
About the 53. Do you know about the 53 connection? How he was 53 years old. He served 53 months, and it was 53 weeks after his previous birthday. And I guess the connection is in Latin. The Jesuit motto is Order ab Chaos, which equals 53, order out of chaos. And I wanted to really quickly add to the whole thing of like who's at the very top. And, that's a mystery, right? But it depends like what you have believe in. I kind of believe in the Bible. And so I think like the devil's at the top. And it just so happens that Enlil and devil are a super match in all four base ciphers, and in satanic gematria, they both equal 227. So what do you think? Do you think that holds weight?
Well, I definitely think some stuff in the Bible is true, but I think it's very tampered with. And let's not forget, in the most pure cipher, Sunday, Bible, and Jesuit all have the exact same gematria. But
right, I feel like, I don't know, man. Like they have to be so evil and filled with so much hatred against humanity, because and ultimately the devil, he's not human, and if you believe in the Bible, the mystery of God is that God himself became human. So it's like this whole anti-human agenda. Obviously, Bill Gates is anti-human,
And another Jesuit pawn building Jesuit high schools exactly. Right now. So.
And the word Jesuit, it's almost like a veil. It's like, Jesus is a good guy and we're Jesuits, so we're obviously good guys. You know what I'm trying to say? That's how I feel like it's a veil that, the blind don't see. It's like they clearly don't. They're not who they pretend to be, even though, what I'm trying to say? Just the name is so deceiving.
Yeah, wolves in sheep's clothing. Look how many of their universities are wolf pack. Wolves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But anyway, thanks for answering my call, Zach. I just wanted to show you that the devil and Enlil, what are the odds that they're a perfect match in 5 big ciphers?
Yeah, I've always noticed that devil, Pope, Earth, they're all 52 and the most simple. That was one of my earliest observations. I was like, that's interesting.
And last but not least, matcha. People who don't drink matcha, buy the powder, ceremonial grade from Japan. That stuff's a miracle. Thanks a lot, Zach.
But what's it do? Tell me more about it. I don't have any. What's it do?
Oh, okay. So matcha, it's this green leaf, and they grind it up, and you need to get it from Japan. It has to be ceremonial grade. It's the highest quality, and you buy this handmade Japanese bamboo whisk to prepare it with. You can find it. It's not that expensive.
Sure.
And you just make it traditional style where, you boil some water, you put like a teaspoon or so in a bowl, you drop it, and then you whisk it up for like 30 seconds. And what does it do? It's pretty much like the highest antioxidant loaded drink, I think, on the planet. And it boosts your metabolism. It gives you gentle focus, like clarity, because it has caffeine, but it's like half as much as coffee. And, caffeine, I guess, isn't necessarily the best thing on earth. But also, samurais used to drink it before going into battle. So, like, they really believe, like, this stuff.
It must give you some good focus then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, hey, thanks a lot.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Okay. So he really wanted to get on there. I wasn't planning on taking calls, but yeah. So that's interesting. I have to think more about the 53, where all that could fit in. Dead at 53 weeks after taking office here. Let's just check it out real quick. We can do a little bit more research. I didn't look into his term when he started office. That's good extra research right there. Look at his birthday too, just June 26th, right? Just the whole, born in 68, right? Born in 68, that infamous year, the year MLK is assassinated. And then 26/6, remember, we're in the time of the 266th Pope, Pope Francis. Jesuit motto, E Sus Hominum Salvator is 266. And again, when he spoke in D.C., it was September 23rd, the 266th day of the year, Pope Francis. There's a lot more with that. By the way, the whole skull and bones thing, because again, the Jesuits have the Templar cross in their logo, and skull and bones gets their symbolism from the Knights Templar. This assassination came 202 days after the Pope's birthday, not 201, but one more, 202, just like Adam Weishaupt. And by the way, the Skull and Bones fraternities also modeled after the secret societies of Bavaria. There was more than just the Bavarian Illuminati, but it's just like where, that's where the knowledge was and the information at the time, and people, people copy each other. But yeah, it's probably not an accident. 202 days after Pope Francis' birthday either. So, but okay. Born in 68, that infamous year on 26/6. I forget what June 26 is in terms of day of the year. I can't think right now. Oh yeah, it's the 177th day of the year. So he's born on the 177th day of the year, and he's dead on the day leaving 177 days left in the year. I thought there was something to that date. Okay, so see, the joke gets bigger. Here, let me plug that into the post right now. I got to do an edit here. We don't want to forget that one. Okay. Keep in mind he was born 26/6, June 26, 1968, that infamous year, and it being on the day that is the 177th day of the year. Okay. I'll think about that sentence later if I worded that right. But anyway, and I'll also just make the note about E Sus Hominum Salvator while we're at it. Again, that's the Jesuit logo, the sun with IHS in it, which stands for E Sus Hominum Salvator. Pope Francis, the first Jesuit pope, the 266th in the history of the Catholic Church. Number 46 in this nation, Catholic 46, elected 46 weeks after the Pope's birthday. So, again, how is it always so perfect like this? Are these characters? Is this an invented character for the world political stage? Is there a Jovenel Moise? I know that Barack Hussein Obama wasn't the real name. I know that was a nice big Jesuit joke for the 56th presidential election. Number 44 after the assassination of MLK on 4-4 and Malcolm X on the 44 date numerology. And remember Barack Obama imitating Malcolm X on the campaign trail. Bamboozled, hoodwinked. Kept saying that just from the that's right out of the Spike Lee Denzel Washington, clip. It's like, come on, man. But okay, he just turned 53. Well, okay, so if you are 53 years old, that means you're in your 54th year of life. So there's actually a 54 connection here with the 53 as well. Because again, and for people who get confused with that, remember, when you're born, are you 0 years old until the day you turn 1? Are you in your 0th year of life, or are you in your first year of life when you're first born? Of course, you're in your first year of life until you turn 1. Then the next day, you're 1 year old, 1 day old, and you've began your second year of life, right? You began your second year of life. So technically, on your birthday, you begin your second year of life, actually. But anyhow, let's see. His presidential term. It began on February 7th. That's troubling. The 38th day of the year, it ends in death. Do all Haiti terms begin on February 7th? Because this might be something you want to do something about. I don't think you want to go in office starting on the 38th day of the year. Okay, so February. Here, let's just see. February 7th. For people who don't know, death, murder, killing, RIP, they all equal 38. Africa, 38. Think about what they do to Africa. It's like they experiment on that continent. Here. That's the history books, right? The slave ships landed on the island that's now Haiti. That was the docking point before they brought some of the slaves here to North America, maybe down to South America. But Africa's 38. Can just remember, okay, as I say that, all numbers are dualistic. There's a positive side to everything, but I'm just saying, in terms of the way this cabal operates, this is not a number you want to have associated with you if you're like in the world of celebrity. You don't want some rap name that equals 38. You don't want your album to come out on the 38th day of the year. You don't want to be a politician starting on the 38th day of the year. This is not a good look when these people run the show. It's like they've put their number on you. Your days are numbered. Okay. So, February 7th, 2017. Let's see. And he died on the 7th. A lot of sevens here. 7, completion. Okay, there's something messed up going on here, man. He died 1,611 days after taking office. Are you kidding me? The King James Bible? King James Bible, 1611. That's the year King James turned 45 years old. And they did it that way because Holy Bible is 45 forwards and backwards. Hermetic is 45 forwards and backwards. Hermetic teaching's older than the Bible in the Bible. And, the Jesuit acronym, the IHS, has the 45 in it. But 1611 is King James, right? And then he's 53. This stuff is religion. That's a big religion number, 53. So I got to think more about why King James. Why 1611? Is it the Acts 7:6 thing? Is that what it is? We know that Acts 7:6, that was one of our predictions that's been dead on. The world was going to get really fucked up after the 400-year Acts 7:6, August 2019. And it has. That was the 400-year anniversary of slavery in America. Acts 7:7, yeah, maybe this is it. Acts 7:7 is where then that nation gets punished. Okay, so Acts 7:6, 76, slave is 676, Negro 76, blue 76, Rasta 76, Barack Obama 76, the Million Man March on the day leaving 76 days left in the year, A Promised Land, Obama's new book by the numbers, 76. So, okay. 1611's King James. Remember the Kobe cartoon. Him crashing on Cartoon Central in the helicopter. And Helicopter explodes with him in it after he puts out his 5 rings out there. That came out on 16/11, November 16th. Remember, the day before Kobe got passed in points scored, King James, LeBron passed him in points scored in Philly, Kobe's hometown, the same town that gets its name from the Church of Philadelphia, which is mentioned in Revelation of the Bible. So, $16.11 biblical, but and then again it's 7/7 that he dies on. Haiti's not exactly the United States of America, but it's not that far away. Again, the land, the region. Remember, United States is 77. So Acts 7:6 is about the 400 years of slavery. American history books, we hit 400 years of slavery in August of 2019. The coronavirus pandemic's right after that. The world's been worse off ever since. But United States got the 77, the nation's capital, the American meridian, the 77th. So now on 7/7, the assassination of this black man, 1,611 days after taking office. And again, man, I mean, it's a religious order behind all this. Religion with the 53. So they got to be going somewhere with that King James thing. I know that's when they do this number. I mean, maybe there's something else to it, but some people think King James is really black, and history's been way rewritten and re-edited. I don't know. I wasn't alive then. But, yeah, that is interesting. Dead at 53 months after taking office. The caller said the Latin for ordo ab chao is, well, I don't see it. Or could I put an S on there? There's not supposed to be an S on there. Ordo ab chao. You know what? That could be it, because he died on the 188th day of the year, right? And 53 weeks. And again, just that's what it is. Just constantly installing this chaos in people's minds. That's probably exactly what it is. Bavarian Illuminati 188, which is essentially a Jesuit thing. It is. I mean, it's created by the Jesuit order. Adam Weishaupt. And understand why Adam Weishaupt created it the day he did May 1st. May Day. Adam Weishaupt, 51, right? Creates it on 5/1. So it was planned as a conspiracy. According to the Amazon documentary, it was he wanted to get over the Jesuits. I mean, it's possible that it was a power struggle. Maybe that's why he went out 201 days after the anniversary. But to wait 54 years, they sure waited a long damn time. And don't forget, May's the other month that has the 42. You know, February is the true 42 month. 42 in the most pure cipher. There's only 2 months in the year that have the 42 connection, but May's the other one. That's why they did George Floyd ritual in May by the numbers. Another big 201 ritual, another big divide and conquer Jesuit ritual, order out of chaos ritual, George Perry Floyd 201. Again, dead 201 days after a Adama Traore killed on the 201st day of 2016, July 19th. Their names celebrated together in Europe against police brutality, or maybe not celebrated, but memorialized, you know, big rallies around Adama Traore and George Perry Floyd, the 201 killings exactly 201 weeks apart. So, and before long, it'll be the anniversary of the moon landing, July 20th, the 201st day of the year, 201. Neil Alden Armstrong, 201. Again, in the 16th century, I got distracted. Heliocentrism, 201. In the 16th century, heliocentrism, the Gregorian calendar based on the sun, the English language, all in the 16th century, all at the same time, all this was coming to be. And this is all pretty much what's, you know, the understanding of the world, the time that we live in, that what we understand about the world around us, how we understand language. You know, a language where from a young age you're taught to believe the authority, the word that's spelled very awkwardly with lie in the middle that just happens to have that 33 in it, you know. Guy called in and said, I think the Bible's true. Bible 33. You got to believe. You got to believe. The word with lie right in the middle. And like I said long ago, the word lie, it's interesting how lie is 26 forwards, 55 in reverse. Also, whoops, here, let me do that again. Lie is 26, 17, 55, right? Just like God. And I'm not saying that God is a lie, but it's like they got people believing a lot of lies, I think, that have to do with religion and God. And essentially those beliefs that are lies, they're meant to manipulate people. And they're meant to keep them, you know, maybe in a needless state of fear, needlessly divided, needlessly hating their fellow man. So, again, I think there's plenty of truth in the Bible, but I also think there's a lot of stuff that's like, And then somebody will be like, who are you to question? like everybody else, a creation of creation with a mind that questions some things because there's a lot of lies in this world? I realize the authorities have been lying to us the whole time, and who do you think got the Bible in your hands? Who do you think went out of their way to print all those Bibles and get them all over the world and then use, campaigns to say, like, these godless heathens over here don't have Bibles, let's get rid of them all. That's how this country was born. So I'm not sure that everything in the Bible and all it is all truth and all good for humanity, because I just don't see that anywhere. So, but yeah, Haiti in turmoil. Ordo ab chao, the Latin for order out of chaos. Yeah, how about just go to the Vatican, just arrest Arturo Sosa, get Pope Francis while you're at it, and I say evict everybody in there and let's make it a homeless shelter. I think that's what Jesus would do. For all the what would Jesus do bracelets, I think he would make the Vatican a homeless shelter. That's what I think. Why not, man? Why not? And then if, it would reveal a lot about humanity, wouldn't it? You get to live in this beautiful building, but all this temptation, all this gold and jewelry, all these adorned things. What would humanity do just surrounded by all this temptation? Would Jesus live in have you ever heard of the rapper Master P and how he made everything in his house gold? It's just... Again, that's not what Jesus would do, man. But the Vatican makes it seem like that's what Jesus would do. So he'd make them say, But I remember when that song came out and it was just played obnoxiously on TV, and I was like, man, this song is ridiculous. This is the most ridiculous music video and song I ever heard. But then before I knew it, everybody was playing it. I was like, oh my God, everybody likes this song. Everybody likes this song. I remember my friend's older brother. I was probably like 13 or 14. I was probably about 14 when that song came out. Must have been around 97, maybe 98, maybe almost 15. I couldn't drive yet, but I just remember my friend's older brother could drive, and he'd always take us. We always played basketball this place. He'd always be picking us up around that time, and every day he'd pick us up playing the same damn song. I'd be like, can we listen to a different song, man? Oh, my God. Anyway. Nah. Yeah, it's the Jesuits, you guys. It's the Jesuits. Queen's song, We Are the Champions of the World, must have just really been a Jesuit anthem. It's got to end, you guys. It's got to end. It's got to end. But I'm going to end this stream right here, right now.